The Adventures of Beekle, the Unimaginary Friend, by Dan Santet. He was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, each eagerly waiting to be imagined by a real child. Look at this beautiful imaginary world they live in. Every night he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights, but his turn never came. His mind filled with thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So rather than waiting, he did the unimaginable. Do you see him in the boat? He's sailing away from the imaginary world. Where do you think he's going? He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things. But thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on until he reached the real world. The real world looks a lot different from the imaginary world, doesn't it? The real world was a strange place. No kids were eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music. And everyone needed nap time. Then he finally saw something familiar, so he followed. Do you see one of his friends from the imaginary world? He had a good feeling about this place. But he looked everywhere, and he could not find his friend. Do you recognize some of his friends from the imaginary world? He climbed to the top of a tree and looked out, wishing and hoping his friend would come. But no one came. Did you notice the piece of paper blowing in the wind? What do you think that could be? He thought about how far he'd come and how long he'd waited and felt very sad. Then he heard a noise below. Hello? Do you see the piece of paper that was blowing in the wind? It got stuck on a branch. The paper belonged to the little girl who called up to him. He brought it down out of the tree for her. Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. At first, they weren't sure what to do. They both feel a little bit shy. Neither of them had made a friend before. But after a little while, they realized they were perfect together. Here they started giggling. And then she told him her name, Alice. He didn't know what to say back because he hadn't been given a name yet. But look, she named him Beekle. Oh, I think he likes that name a lot. Look at that big smile on his face. I'm Beekle. Hi, Beekle. Beekle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks. They told funny jokes. The world began to feel a little less strange. And together they did the unimaginable. Look how happy all those imaginary friends are. They all found someone to love.